22 was the worst year of my life. Um, I started to deal with my own stuff in between my ears. Um, I started to come to terms with things I hadn't.
Hmm.
I was seeking help. I got, I mean, you could write a song like there's a country song for this somewhere probably. Um, I was on the wrong types of medication for help. I was drinking. That added to it. I was in a tumultuous spot professionally. I was there was a lot of negativity that was going on in my life of people
Hmm.
passing, trauma personally, and the culmination happened in October of 2022 where I almost took my life. And um, I sat down and I called a buddy. I called three people. I called one of my friends and he talked about it and I'm like, oh, I'm good, right? We all say up, I'm good. And they're like, hey, are you sure you're good? And I'm like, yep, I'm good. We all say, yep, I'm good. And
All
then
good.
I'm good. Yep, we've all done it. We've all done
Not
it.
all good.
It's not all good. And then I called my one of my best friends I've known since first grade. And he talked about it. We talked about God. We talked about all the things. He's like, dude, God's got you. You're good. And I'm like, taking some deep breaths. I'm good. And then it just sat with me and I didn't get there. And then it festered. And then I ended up calling my buddy Caleb, who I actually hadn't talked to in a while. And we all have those friends that are just like on the fringe of like the immediate circle that we talk to once in a while, that like the no judgment zone friends.
Hmm.
Caleb was that. And I called the no judgment zone Caleb. I'm like, Caleb, I'm in a bad spot. I'm like, I need your help. And he's like, how can I help you? I'm like, dude, I'm in a really dark spot. And so we talked through it. And I met Caleb in 2006 when I came out to Best Buy. He was one of the first people I met. And we worked retail together for a little bit before we both went into different like corporate ventures or leadership roles at Best Buy. And he's a gentle giant. And as I'm talking to him and he's walking me back off the ledge, and um, I said, Caleb, I need to do something where I'm not stuck, where I don't feel like the world's coming to an end, where I
Hmm.
don't feel like everything I'm doing is dependent on this thing and my identity is wrapped into a corporation. I had that stripped from me once when I left the military.
Hmm.
I can't live through it again. And he said, well, what do you want to do? I'm like, I don't know. And he's like, why are you calling me? I said, Caleb, I don't know, but I'm sure glad you answered. And we chuckle about it. And so when Caleb left Best Buy, he was maybe not as in dire a position, but he went to go find his passion, and he started a coffee company that turned into five different locations, and then it turned into a distribution company that distributes coffee to his different places. And I'm like, coffee? I said, Caleb, I think I'm supposed to sell coffee. And he's like, okay. He's like, Zach, you don't know anything about coffee. I'm like, I know. And he's like, well, why do you want to sell coffee? And I'm like, I don't know. I said, I think people need to slow down and take a deep breath and just talk to people when like they're in a moment. And he's like, okay. And I'm like, I think that's what I'm going to do. And he's like, well, how are you going to do that? I'm like, I don't know. You're going to help me. And he's like, all right. Um, and that's how Pillars of Valor, my coffee company, was started in a moment of desperation of where I almost killed myself.